Hey, what's up guys? It's Alex Johnson, aka Alejandro Johansson. I'm out here today doing a review of the new Jennifer Lawrence movie, Red Sparrow. It has been out for a couple weeks, and I wanted to see it, long before it came out. I think the first time I saw the trailers, I was like, I need this in my life. And I was really interested in it. My family was interested in it. And then the reviews started coming in that it was, not great, and that, it over-sexualizes Jennifer Lawrence and all that stuff. And slowly, it was like everyone in my family stopped wanting to see it. And it didn't happen immediately. It was just kind of one of those things. It was a trickle effect. So finally, I got tired of waiting on someone to go see it with me, and I ended up watching it on my own last night. Loved it. I loved it. One of my two favorite genres is kind of like a detective, espionage, spy kind of thing. I love mysteries and all that. And so this movie kind of fits into that niche for me. It fits in there a very unique way. It's, it's spies and double agents, and you never know who's playing on what side, and I thought it was great. So I'm going to do a review for this, and I'm also going to do a review for Shape of Water shortly after. I also watched that last night. Great movie. But we're not here to talk about Shape of Water. We are here to talk about Red Sparrow. So the way I do my reviews, if you've never seen one before, is I kind of give a brief synopsis of the movie. I don't get into spoilers because I don't like spoilers. So I give you a very brief synopsis that you might find on the internet. I might throw in a little bit here and there to just kind of make it my own, but I don't get too much into the nitty gritty because I don't want to ruin it for you. And then I give my outlook of kind of the visual aspects of the movie, like where it takes place, the world view, the costumes, and how bright the movie was, and kind of all that kind of aspects of it. And then I take a look at the script and the story and the acting, and finally I do a general score that I give the movie on a scale of 1 to 10. I said start to say 0 to 10. If I ever have to give a movie a 0, I won't do a review on it because it's just not worth it. I don't think I'll ever have to do that, but on a scale of 1 to 10, and then I also kind of compare that score to Rotten Tomatoes' critic and audience scores. I just think that method of kind of giving you a comparison shows how I feel about it in comparison to how people who are professional critics view it, and how kind of the average outlook of this movie is. So I'm gonna get right into it though. So the synopsis of this movie is you have a ballerina. She's played by Jennifer Lawrence. Her name is Dominika. She lives in Russia, or they live in Russia, and it doesn't really say what's wrong with her mother, but her mother has some sort of debilitating illness. Her dad is gone. All I know is that he's dead. The uncle is around, or Dominika's uncle is around a lot, but the dad's gone. The uncle is Dominika's father's brother, if that makes sense. So, paternal uncle. And so Dominika's a ballerina. She, by keeping up with her career, the ballerina school that she works for, or that she dances for rather, pays all of her bills, takes care of her mother, provides a caretaker, and a place to stay. So basically, her doing what she does allows her and her mother to have a decent life. An accident happens on a big night of a dance, and her leg is permanently broken, so she can't dance anymore. She goes from feeling like she's a very special person to feeling broken. I mean, and it makes sense. Anytime a human does something that makes them feel unique and that's stripped away from it, it breaks them. In this case, it was a physical and an emotional thing. So her uncle comes to her and says, well, do this for me and I'll continue to take care of you and your mother, yada yada. And so she's enrolled in a, I don't know if enrolled is the right term, but she's indoctrinated into this school called the Sparrows, or she's the school of super spies, essentially, called Sparrows. They're taught how to manipulate people, both physically, mentally, just so they can get the information they need for the Russian government. They're intelligence operatives, essentially. That's really as far as I want to get into the story. I will say that kind of one of the things I loved about this movie is you don't really know whose side Jennifer Lawrence's character is on all throughout the movie. It's like one moment she's here, one moment she's here, but is she doing this for them even though she's here? And it was this really cool game of cat and mouse played by really a singular character. This was an outstanding role for Jennifer Lawrence, in my opinion. I will speak on the negative aspects of the movie that people have talked about, which is the horrifying Jennifer Lawrence exploiting her body, yada yada yada. Yeah, you see her nude. It happens in the movie. Yeah, she's put in some kind of compromising positions a couple of times, but something I think people need to understand is that espionage is not necessarily a pretty job. Like, you're sacrificing kind of who you are for the government, essentially. And I feel like that applies no matter what government you work for. I feel like U.S. spies have been probably put in some positions. I mean, Black Widow from the Marvel movies. She's a former Russian spy turned American spy turned vigilante, essentially. I mean, we've seen Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow put in some weird positions. Like, there was the one where she was tied up in the chair, and the guys are spreading her legs, while they talk to her. It's kind of the same thing, except this movie. I kind of made the joke that this movie is essentially a Black Widow solo film, and I don't really know that that's an accurate representation of it, but I kind of joked about it, because I feel like certain aspects of it would definitely cater to a Black Widow film. Jennifer Lawrence's Black Widow confirmed. Just kidding. So that's kind of my opening statement / synopsis. I just wanted y'all to know that I feel like the positions that she's put into in this movie are accurate and fitting. A lot of people hate on them, but I think it was the right direction to go. I think it was a real direction to go, if that makes sense. So, let me kind of give a outlook of the world, the visual effects, and all that. So, movie primarily takes place in Moscow, or not Moscow. And Moscow has a little bit of a presence, but the kind of big thing is it takes place just in Russia in general. It takes place in some like smaller territories, such as Vienna. There's a little bit of America in it. Not a whole lot of screen time, and really it's confined to an office when it is in America. But it kind of takes place scattered throughout some areas throughout Eastern Europe. I think that kind of a big thing about this movie is that it's kind of nitty gritty. You're shown that Russian life is a cage. And that you serve these masters and they put you in a box. And so a lot of the way stuff is portrayed in the movie is, I feel like, is supposed to be shown as boxy to show how Dominika, which is Jennifer Lawrence's character, how she feels. But the costumes were on point. Jennifer Lawrence wears some really gorgeous dresses in this movie. I'm not a dress critic at all, but I thought they were cool dresses. Her hair is incredible. She goes from brown to blonde, and both were good looks for her. Her uncle, excuse me, was a very stylish gentleman. He, like, I kind of envied his suits. I'm not a big suit wearer, but I liked them. Joel Edgerton plays an American spy in the movie, and he was a very casually cool looking character. Not disappointed in his costumes at all. Also, having only ever seen him in The Gift, this was a cool role to see him in. I'll kind of get more into that when I go into the acting. But yeah, visually, the movie is solid. I really enjoyed it, that aspect of it. But we can get into the acting real quick, and the story, and the script, and all that. I didn't realize this movie was based on a book. I was chatting with a girl who was sitting a couple seats down from me afterwards, and she said that she just finished the audiobook, and how in the movie and the book are entirely different in their endings. She said that the book overall is better, but the ending of the movie is better. And so I thought that was really kind of cool. But I really enjoyed the story. Like I said before, it's kind of this game of cat and mouse as far as, you know, who's playing who's playing for who not playing for. Like, you really don't really know whose side everyone is on until the dust clears at the end of the movie, or towards the end of the movie rather, and it's a fun ride. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Was not disappointed in the least. The script, the story in that regard is really breathtaking, because, like, you don't know where it's going. You don't know if Dominica's gonna get a bullet in her head the next minute because she did this. You don't know if she's gonna put a bullet in someone's head because she did this. Like, I was on my toes a solid portion of the movie. It's kind of great. Jennifer Lawrence's performance, on point. Honestly, my favorite performance by her so far. I really loved her in Silver Linings Playbook. I thought that was a great role for her. This one, though, I think tops it. It's incredible. Joel Edgerton, I kind of touched on this a minute ago. I've only ever seen him in The Gift, and he plays Gordo the Weirdo in that movie. In two entirely different facets of the same coin. Joel plays a really cool character in this movie. You kind of see him do some really, what I initially felt was stupid stuff, but as his motives become more and more clear, it makes sense why he's doing these things. The same cannot be said about Jennifer Lawrence's character, Dominica. She is her own entity, like, in many ways. Both of their acting was on point. The script was really great. I'm actually genuinely interested in reading the book, especially after talking to that girl at the end of the movie. You know, she said that the book was better. As much as I loved the movie, I think that the book, if based on what she's saying, the book ought to be incredible. So yeah, I love this movie. Highly recommend it to anybody. And saying that, I'm going to kind of lead into the general overview, or my general score of the movie. So before I say what my score is, I will say Rotten Tomatoes is not great. The critics rating is around a 47. The audience score is a 57. I have to disagree, and this is my opinion, so take it or leave it. You know, it's really up to you. I really am inclined to give it an 8. Like, there's some stuff that maybe could have been better. There's some stuff that maybe could have been taken out. Maybe there's some stuff that could have been added to. So I'm not going to say it's a perfect movie, but I really loved it. I think it's incredible. I give it an 8 out of 10, or a 4 out of 5 if you want to, you know, break down fractions. So definitely a solid movie in my take. And I am not disappointed that I went and saw it. You know, I wish that I could have went and saw it with some friends or my family, but I've been looking forward to it, and I was really not disappointed. So, yeah. Like I said earlier, I'm going to do a review on Shape of Water later. Sunset Boulevard starts in about 14 minutes, so I'm going to go head to the theaters right across the street. And I'm going to do a review on Sunset Boulevard later today, too. So, if you like this one, leave me some constructive criticism. Tell me what your thoughts were on Red Sparrow. Maybe give me a movie that's on Netflix or on the internet that, you know, you would like me to do a review of, you know. So just comment, like, whatever you want to do. I'm down for whatever. I'm really doing this for fun, so if y'all enjoy it, that's a plus. So appreciate y'all. Hope you have a great rest of your day.